Good afternoon, my name's Mark and this is a new battle report. Tonight I'm going to be doing two games of a kill team battle report, and this is going to be the Tyranids, my Tyranids, versus the Adeptus Mechanicus, the ones that came in the base set, with some extra units as well. It's our first time out with new teams, my first time as Tyranids. I think this is a new faction for my opponents as well. Let's see how it goes. News just in, Fantasy Flight Games has just released news that they're doing a new Lord of the Rings board game. It looks like some sort of great mashup. There's news on the website, though it's very early release, but it says for the second quarter of the year, so looking forward to that. Let's get on to the battle reports. So tonight we're doing, the first game is Recover Intelligence. What that means is we're going to deploy in a pyramid type section on the short side of the board and opposite each other. And then there are 5 objectives laid out in like a 5 dice pip shape in the centre, and we have to, if we have a unit on them or very close to them at the end of each turn, they'll score points. You'll get 2 points, you'll score 2 points if you get the ones furthest from you. You'll score 3 points if you're on the one in the middle, and you'll score 1 point just for holding the ones on your side. Let's go next. On to my team selection. This is how I lay out my team. I printed out these from Board Game Geek and I rearranged them in a Photoshop file. And I have one piece of paper for each fire team. I've got my Hormagaunts, my Gene Stealers, and my Tyranid Warriors. It's a 12-man squad, 5 Hormagaunts, which are all melee based. How many Gene Stealers is it? Including specialist. I think it's 4 Gene Stealers. 2 specialists, my leader and a combat specialist, and then just 2 attacking along. Mention my Hormagaunts. The white ones have an adrenal gland that gives them 1 extra movement on charges and advances. I got a Tyranid warrior with a venom cannon. He's a gunner. So these are my specialists. I've got my leader, veteran Hormagaunt, and close combat specialist with a acid maul. And the reason for my veteran Hormagaunt is he can use a command point to move up the board before the first turn, and then if I get the first turn, you can hopefully charge any of his sniper units or a unit that I don't want to shoot at me that turn. Just the idea of like getting into close combat that fast, just a distraction right from the get-go. And this is how I do my command point cards. I've written them all out in a table, and the table's arranged into the phases, so I can look. These are going to be my movement ones near the top, shooting, fighting, etc. And these are my Tyranid specific ones on the far right. Easier to look at, I find. These are my fire teams, so 2 Gene Stealers and 5 Hormagaunts. This is his very nicely painted Adeptus Mechanicus. Yeah, beautiful. I can't say much about them. I know this guy with the long legs is close combat. I know he's got a very long range weapon, and I know he's a very shooty fire team. So it's shooty versus close combat. I don't think that's going to go well for me, but anyway, let's see how it went. This is my pyramid deployment. A venom cannon can see his guys. Gotta try and stay in cover and out of the way and get close without getting shot at, going around on the left flank. Might risk just trying to get these into the cover. There's not much. There's cover, but cover's not everything in this game. You really want to be out of sight, and there's not much out of sight in the middle of this table. I wonder, does this look like more or less terrain than you play on? Please comment or send pictures of what your terrain is, and maybe we can do a video about how different regions of the world play their terrain and such. I mean, it looks full, but if you play it on the ground level, not so much, just like these long struts. This is a view from his side. You can make out my veteran, I think, here. What my veteran does on first turn, because I don't think I've got pictures for it, he's going to charge up and pretty much gets around about this d6. Now, I win the next round's initiative, so I could charge any of these, but I want to take out his gun, like I mentioned in the previous moment ago. So I use my fly command point to ignore these, because I can't get charged him without going through these guys. So I use a fly. I've wiped it on my command points. 1 command point to move him further forward, and another command point to ignore these to fly and charge his big gun. So I know it might be sacrificial, but I hope it pays off. So that's him charging up, and then he makes his charge roll and completely flips it. So he ends up behind these struts, these dark struts, by this objective point. Rest in peace for veteran Termagant. Maybe that's how I should have used him. This is my Hormagaunts moving up, trying to be out of sight, but this they can still see him behind this larger vat. They can definitely see him behind these struts. There's the one that's going to about to die in his turn. There we go. Oh, here's a cluster of them behind this larger vat. I think they're out of sight, so they're a little bit closer, but still, it's a long way to go. I'm charging. I need to be rolling 10s or 11s, really. I'm feeling that's tough going, but it's new to me, coming from a guardsman squad in my last league. I'm going to need to brush up on my tactics, so please, if you've got any tips on how to play as Tyranids or squad lists, add them below, please, in my comments. Here's my Venom Cannon, shooting at his large. They've all got strange names. I won't look them up and pronounce them. I miss. He hits, and wow, does he hit! This guy's got 3 wounds and 4+ save, all fluffed, all taken out, and a taken out status to boot. So I've lost a lot of Termagants. I think I deleted that picture. I was just trying to. I had a lot of pictures, but it's about 30, so it's about 15 on each game here. And now I'm thinking, can I score points just by having numbers of bodies on the middle objective? Because that's got me 3 points. And maybe then he's going to have to move closer to me and might affect him. At least I'll let me charge him if he's closer. So maybe my first turn should have just been put 5 Termagants on number 3. If I get the points up, then I can start moving behind the vats and drawing him out to charge him next turn. But hindsight. Creeping round, I get another one in close combat, and again he fluffs his rolls and he falls over. Little kittens that they are. I try going on the roof, thinking I might be able to fly down, but you can still see me up here. You know, I've got cover, but cover's not much. He had lots of abilities where he seemed to add +1s to his dice roll. It seems like he was rolling to hit. I don't remember, on 2s and 3s sometimes. Very scary. So my idea on having bodies on the central point didn't work. Even the black one there gets taken out. So all arms in the air, bellies, dead Tyranids. So that was the end of that game. Very swift. I think I had no bodies left to score command points, so it must have ended on around about turn 3. So I say, come on, can we just adjust the terrain and have a rematch? We play a different game. I think we're playing sweep and clear this time. A diamond layout in the middle of the objectives, but this time they only score if you're on them on the final turn. Final turn can be any turn from 4+. I think you just roll at the end of turn 4. I can't remember the dice roll. Is it below 4 it ends, over 4 it continues, I think is how it works. Double check that. Right, so this is his side of the board. There's lots of space on the outside. Basically we're staying within the terrain perimeter. We measured it out to be, 30 by 22, thereabouts. My layouts, looking back at this now, I think I could have got closer. You're not allowed to deploy in the central circle of the diamond of the objective tokens. I think I could have got much closer to him. You know, you don't spot these things when you're in the heat of it, and reeling from that last loss as well. So I'm packed up on my quarter, ready to jump into his quarter anyway. The train's very different this time. This time I'm saying, oh, I don't have a line of sight to you in this time, and so I'm hoping that does better for me, and it felt better, it felt a little bit more tactical, but his amazing dice rolls was burning through me with his plasma and his galvanic rifles are just, he had armor piercing, so I didn't get armor saves. Fish in a barrel, just felt like fish in a barrel, even with my new terrain layout. My veteran, same tactic, though didn't go for his highest gunner this time. It was just, I must have deployed him at the wrong side or his gunner too far back, so I'm just going for one of his lowly grunts on the right here. on his turn, he swings around and comes at me. So I have my choice on who to kill. I think killing his leader is the same sort of stat rolls, saving throws. So I'll go for his leader, fluff him. So his leader, his combat Skitari walker thing, and his grunt. I think they all do 1 flesh wound to me. So 3 flesh wounds, I'm out. Some guys going on the roof here. Thinking I can leap down at the Skitari close combat unit. That's down that right hand side. I'm holding a gaunt, so sort of risking it. They want to try and get to the right hand flank and maybe get this fire objective point. Spread a bit of terror and chaos, as only the Tyranid Swarm can do. We get close up in the middle fight. His close combat warrior comes up on the roof, and I send my gene steals into the middle because I have better combats. My dice rolls are terrible. Even needing 7s, I don't manage that sometimes. So I'm just short on close combat. Say tips below. Tell me if you play the Tyranids or another close combat squad. How do you keep you guys alive to engage? I need to know. I know it took a while for me to learn my guardsman, so I've got ideas in my head. I'm going to do another tactical report maybe on how I think they should play. I don't have any 40k experience beyond the kill team, so please, any tips are very welcome. He wins the roof fight with that first unit stealer and then retreats down to the base level. And my leader and combat specialist, we want to hold back. We now regrouping our tactics with a lot of my guys with their failed rolls being shot in their charges or just not making the charges and then being shot anyway. I'm down on bodies again. I had 12. I think he's got 12. I didn't count up. Don't think I can tell from the original pictures I took. But again, I want to hold back and thinking about the turn order. If it gets to turn 4 and ends there, can I be on an objective? I don't know, what do you call it? Contested objective and score points and win that way. It doesn't happen. So I start trying to threaten and stay out of line of sight of his warriors. My warrior moves up. He's got the long range weapon, but he's got a very poor ballistic skill. So it's like 4+ if you're obscured, it'll be 5+, if you're in long range it'll be 6+. So I'm rolling 6s. I didn't really get any. I think I caused 1 flesh wound at one point. So he moves up to try and get in closer range and even the odds. Maybe I need a comms specialist to do the +1 to hit. Maybe I need to look at my Tyranid tactics. I don't know if there's anything in there for Tyranid warrior shooters. Or maybe I should just think of them as close combat things where they can get double scythe. That sounds good. So you could have, I think, a combat specialist Tyranid warrior could have 5 attacks potentially, if you can get him up. And here these guys move on to the roof of a container. They can just see my Tyranid warrior pincer and leg sticking out there. I think I managed to take one of them out with a venom blast, and then he takes me out. So I think this is the last slide. And those 2 very short games. This one did go to round 4 and it ended on round 4. It was equal on who held objective points. So we both had bodies on 2 objective points each. But because I took all my weaker Hormagaunts, he was mowing them down left, right and centre. Because all these guys have armour piercing and I didn't even get saving throws. It's 6+ save, so -1, bang, they're dead. Anyway, that's it. That's 2 battle reports for Tyranids versus the Metal Adeptus Mechanicus, sort of cyborg men. I did terribly. It was a sweep for me. Very good dice rolls from him. Very good tactics from him. Very well painted. It must be because he was much better painted than me, and I had some unpainted models on the board. I've not pleased the painting gods. That is, I did a new background, tried to Tyranid it up. Hope you like that. Give me your tips and tactics on how to play Tyranids. Any list builds, add them into the comments below. I'm going to post this up now, and so it goes. I'm going to read more about that not Hobbit board game, just Lord of the Rings board game. It looks a little bit like Runebound. It uses an app like Mansions of Madness and Descent. which has a co-op. It's purely co-op. I'm excited for it. I mean, looking forward to future previews. And that's it from me. Goodbye.